Hello out there and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAV TV. This is where we get to discuss with members of the streets as regards different headlines making rounds on the papers. We are the streets of Port Harcourt like we've been doing before. And my name is Obed Jerry, your host for today. And you out there can also be a part of the show. Engage with us in our comment section by dropping your comments or your thoughts and actions as regards what we discuss here. If you are yet to subscribe to our channel, please subscribe and turn on your notification button. Well, before we discuss with members of the streets, let's first look into the newspapers and see what the stories look like. We're first will be looking at the New Telegraph newspaper. Today being May 23rd, Thursday 2024, we could see it says Emirates stakeholders predict major shifts in Nigerian market dynamics. Seek urgent resolution of Dubai visa restriction. Details of this story is found on page 7. CBN orders BDCs to meet new capital base by December. Details is found on page 8. Vandalism. Senate asks federal government to restore power to Northeast. Details is found on page 2 and 3 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Nigerian passengers. NCAA mediates in Turkish Airlines. Unions feud. Details is found on page 8. LP crisis. Ex-NLC president Omar heads transition committee to conduct fresh national convention in 3 months. Details is found on page 5. Court admits Abakari to 50 million naira bail for 2 weeks. Details is found on page 2 and 6. The main story at the New Telegraph says LG polls male coronation of ruling party's candidates, says INEC chairman. Urges government to allow SIECs to operate independently. Details is found on page 4. Tinubu calls for regional integration, trade ties in Africa as Obasanjo seeks domestication of democracy for the continent. Details is found on page 3. Why UK varsity withdrew Nigerian student invalidated visa. Details is found on page 3 and 4. 80% malnourished pregnant women, children languishing in Benue IDP camp, says UNHCR. This is found on page 3 and 31. Cross River Assembly sacks speaker, cites financial mismanagement. This is found on page 28. District headquarters to Katsina government. Substantial allegation of troops' involvement in terrorism. Details is found on page 2 and 5. Minimum wage, Labour shifts ground, slashes proposal to 500,000 naira. This is found on page 2, and that's all be taken on the New Telegraph newspaper. And moving on, we'll be looking at the Vanguard newspaper. We could see it says Shetima, Cardoso, Oye, others discuss Nigeria's economy today. This is found on page 20. The main story on the Vanguard says minimum wage talks. Labour cuts demand to 497,000 naira. Federal government, OPS offers 57,000 naira. Sub-story under that reads, yesterday's talk end in stalemate. Uzodinma attends briefly as other governors shun minimum wage talks. Details is found on page 9. Okwama Ewu Okoloba in war of words. Details is found on page 12. Obaseki signs 404 billion naira revised 2024 budget into law. This is found on page 12. Sit at home. Uzodinma threatens Imo civil servants. This is found on page 10. Currency crisis. UK varsity sends Nigerians packing. Details is found on page 8. This is concerning our naira depreciation and the failure of we Nigerian students studying in the UK and their inability to meet up with their school fees and other tuition fees. Details of the story is found on page 8. Reps query contractors over abandoned projects after 85% payment. Details is found on page 8, and that's all be taken on the Vanguard newspaper. And lastly, we get to look at the Punch newspaper. I could see here it says electricity subsidy gobs 629 billion naira as discos generates 1.1 trillion naira. This is found on page 19. BDC agent rejects new CBN licensing guidelines. This is found on page 20. Tinubu replaces BIU as FRSC boss, appoints Muhammad. This is found on page 7. Minimum wage, Labour wants 497,000 naira. Federal government laments paucity of fund. This is found on page 12. The main story of the Punch says first anniversary. Tinubu directs 47 ministers to showcase scorecards. This is found on page 2. Federal government canvasses regional military force to counter coup threats. This is found on page 22. Pro-Wike commissioners left no record after resigning. This is found on page 11. This story was said by Fubara about this River State crisis that has been going on. He said that when these persons resigned, that they didn't drop their record, they didn't drop anything about their portfolios, about what they've been doing so far as regards their positions. All right, details of this story is found on page 11. Impeached speaker kicks as confusion engulfs Cross River Assembly. Details is found on page 11, and that's all be taken on the Punch newspaper. Now let's get to see the reactions of people on the streets. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regard different headlines that had been discussed here on the paper. Stay tuned. All right, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
Welcome.
Oh, Allah.
Right, there's a story on the Vanguard. You know, this issue about this minimum wage has been on for long. NLC is talking about 615,000 naira. Now they've reduced it to 497,000. Why the federal government is saying they want to give them 57,000 naira? You see the different margin. What do you have to say about that?
The truth is that the federal government, they are not being too fair to Nigerians. You know, some of them, when they get opportunity and get into power, they forget where they came from. And if you see, the reality of the matter is that these people that are talking about this money for the minimum wage, they are the people doing the main work.
Exactly.
Are you getting me? They are the people doing striving all the sectors to be running. You understand me? And so if they are doing all this and they are not getting their pay, it's not fair. And when somebody is not getting fairness in what he's doing, they won't do it with their mind. Are you getting me? So there will be so many things. So I urge federal government to be fair in this matter. 57,000 or 58,000 that they are proposing, it's nothing to write home about. Are you getting me? It's not close. And again, when you check the cost of food prices, it's hiking. Everything is on the rise every day. You getting me? Even transport. So these people now, when you pay them 50 something thousand, what do you have to say for somebody who pays transport from his house every day? So are you getting me? So after paying all those transport every day, now you see that the 50 something down does remain small, very small thing. Are you getting me? And some of them, their children get sick, and hospital bill has increased. They pay school fees inside that 58 or 57. So it's not normal. It's not okay at all. So I urge federal government to look into this matter and negotiate with labor. Let them come up with something reasonable, so that if they say, look, if federal government can say like 150, at least it's manageable. 150 is manageable. But anything less than that, with the current economic hardship now, I don't think that federal government is being fair. That's my take.
We could see that things in Nigeria has been very hard, and today is they are celebrating 1 year of Tinubu being in office. Do you think there is hope for Nigeria? Do you think Nigeria will get better? Seeing how things are, you know, you are striving, I am striving.
Yes,
this was not how it was 5 years ago.
Definitely.
What's your take on that?
The truth is that, you know, we all know how this government came into power.
Exactly.
And again, in as much as we know how this government came into power, we cannot judge this government with this just one year. This is just 1 year. Are you getting me? If this government have good things in mind, 1 year is too much for them to execute them. So all I will urge Nigerians is to be calm for the meantime. He is in power, he is in power. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Are you getting me? If you don't want him, everybody should exercise patience and prepare your PVC. Are you getting me? By the next 2027, you show him the way out. That is the only way to speak to a politician that you are not satisfied or you are satisfied with them. Going to the streets or doing any other violent thing cannot solve the matter. Are you getting me? I cannot outrightly say that there is no hope. Are you getting me? The Bible said that there is a hope for the living dog than a dead lion. We have hope. As long as we are alive, we have hope. And Nigerians are strong people.
Exactly.
Are you getting me? We keep striving despite the
cost of things increase. We will still survive.
You understand? We will still survive. So all we ask the government is to let the people know that you are with them. Are you getting me? Let the people know that you are with them. So it won't be long. Everything will be better, I believe.
All right.
Nigeria is a great country.
Welcome. It's good to have you here again. All right, on the Punch newspaper, this is first anniversary of 1 year of our president being in office. By this period last year, we were swearing in and all that. Now he's saying that He's directing his 47 ministers to showcase their scorecard. Like, what have you done so far? What have you achieved? Show us your scorecard. What do you have to say about that? This is him holding them accountable.
Thank you, my brother, because I even like what the man said. Because after appointing those ministers, what he said that they should show up what they have done. Me, I even supporting that. Let them show up what they have done. Since they appointed them as the ministers, since they elected them as the ministers, let them come out and show up what they. But for the president to say they should show up what they have done since they elected, it means that he want the country to move forward. But because of the cabinet, the appointing cabinet, some of them, the people around you, some of them they are eating the money, some of them they are not doing anything. That's why he said, okay, let each of them come out and show up what they have done in their various places and even their position. I even like what the president said. For that, I'm happy. I'm happy for that. Let them show up what they have done. Let them show the people if they are eating the money or they are not eating the money, so that the president will know that yes, to remove them or to continue them. Anybody that is not capable, let him remove them, so that the new person will enter, so that we know that the country is moving forward, not by because of the president. Everything they will say president. Why he's giving out the jobs, and he's awarding something for them. Go and do it in their place. They want to eat the money because they know that they are appointed and they cannot remove him, because if they remove him now, if he himself did as if he wants to remove them, they will gang against him. So
same thing that is happening in Rivers State.
I even like what he said. Let them show us. We are not saying that they should go out, but let them show us if it is something that is not good. Then we will remove them. Then replace somebody that can be able to do it. For that, I'm very happy for that.
Now, as a concerned Nigerian, look at this 1 year in office. Do you think there has been any visible achievement?
My brother,
on your own opinion,
I will tell you, nobody will stay in the office for 1 year that will not do something. But the major thing is that the people, he himself cannot come down and do it. So long as the cabinet are there, the appointees are there, he will give them the job to do it. It's the people that are appointed that are supposed to do this thing. So they cannot leave Abuja and be working about now. Let me just ask, if Minister of Information are supposed to walk around to know what is going on. But because of they are not giving, the Minister of Information is not walking around, even the Minister of Works and Houses, they are not walking around. That's why they cannot know if something is going on or something is not going on. So for this, I even like that. I even like what you just said. Let them show up everything.
Exactly. It's good to hold them accountable.
Yes, it's good to hold them accountability, so that the masses, everybody will know that yes, they are giving what they are doing is the right. If they are doing the right thing or they are doing the wrong thing. Because even in the house, if your father keep quiet and he gave you money, go and do this thing, go and do this thing, you will see that if it's something that you cannot be able to, you will eat the money. If your father cannot be able to say anything, then the wife or your mother will not be saying, see, you gave him money to go and do something, he cannot do anything, you wasted it. So what kind of father are you? I even like what he's doing now. For this thing, let them show up what they are using the money for, and what are they doing? Are they organizing? Are they using the money to give the terrorists to do what they want to do? Or what is their aim being in that place? Just to pack the money out of the country, or what is their major aim? If they cannot, let him remove them. If it is my father, to let him remove him, because he is not capable to. If it is capable to be there, he will do something. And if he has the feel of people, he will do something with that money. Even though he will eat the money, it will not be like that.
Still show working.
It will still show working.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. This is where we get to draw our curtains for today. You've heard everything that has been discussed here. You've seen the thoughts and reactions as regards different headlines that the members of the streets have to say as regards these headlines on the papers. You can also be a part of the show. Drop your comments if you have anything to add to it, and if you want to interact with us, drop your comments in our comment section. Do not hesitate to do that. My name is Ubed Jerry, your host for today. I will see you next time.